Away from that, the Coalition of Online Drivers Unions has served notice of a 2-day national sit-down strike over the lack of attention to their grievances. The coalition is encouraging drivers on the ride-hailing apps to stay home and not to waste their fuel. Let's speak to the president of the Online Drivers Union of Ghana, which is part of a coalition, for a lot more insight into this. Frederick Afari is joining me. Thank you, Frederick, for joining us. So you say you are embarking on this 2-day sit-down. Exactly what do you hope to achieve after this?
First, we are using this opportunity to inform the app companies, both Uber and Yango, regarding the bad conditions drivers are working currently under. This is one of the 3 options we have put in place to ensure that we have some good working conditions among the gigs industry. We have also planned to do a procession to the Parliament House to present a petition to the Speaker of Parliament for government to set up and develop a policy to regulate the industry. And then also, the third option is to speak to local companies that understands the needs and the challenges of the drivers and will be willing to listen to the drivers and then also provide certain conditions that will help the drivers also earn a good living out of what they are doing currently. So that is what we have started with, is to do with a sit-down strike.
You speak about conditions. What are the conditions that you are unhappy about exactly?
The 2 main conditions which really affect drivers is, 1, the fare charges.
Okay. What about them?
The fare charges are extremely low. Already, the online drivers pricing is about 30% below the traditional taxi industry rate. Now we all know how much fuel prices have increased, and yet so these companies are still beating their prices down because they are scrambling for all customers to be on their app and then to help them make money. Secondly, we have security issues. The app companies do not take good procedures in registering the riders. So you have riders having all sort of names, unanimous names, and through this, some of them have been able to attack our drivers. Some have been killed. Some have been attacked and they've caused stroke to the drivers. And then some have also lost their vehicles, their money, and their personal effect. So these are the 2 main serious issues that we want to bring to the attention of these apps companies. Before this decision, we have written a number of letters for the past 3-4 years to the companies to see if they will respond to it and address these concerns for us. But up till now, they've done nothing so far about it. So we have come together as a as collective union so that our voices can have an impact to make these companies wake up to the plight that drivers are currently undergoing.
How do you respond to those who say, for example, some of your drivers, have also over the period showed misconduct in dealing with passengers, for example?
Yes, it is true. We have noticed that one, we are addressing those issues and do a lot of education among the drivers. But the reality is also is that because of the problem of security issues and the process of registration, you have criminals also entering into the business, and they use that opportunity to attack unsuspecting riders. That is there. And then also, one of the biggest challenge which sometimes causes friction between riders and drivers is because of the fare charges. It's all the time sparks confusion and a lot of rift between the riders and the drivers, because the question is, how can an unsatisfied employee satisfy a customer? If the employee is not satisfied, there's no way you can satisfy the customer. So sometimes when you finish one trip, the charge alone, because of how low it is, can make you angry for the next rider you have to pick up. And before you pick up, with the least provocation, the driver gets angry. And we believe that if these things are addressed, it will make the drivers happy doing the job. And then they can also give the customers a very good and a delightful service.
We'll be monitoring this particular series of action you speak about that you're going to be taking to get your concerns through, including that petition you intend to file at Parliament House to also get the authorities to intervene. We'll be monitoring and bring you developments subsequently. You're still watching Media Live here on TV3. We have more stories if you stay with us.